Hello everyone, this is our new video, and today with me my friend FIDE Master Vladimir Chernikov.
Ciao.
And today we're gonna discuss posts on Facebook, which is kind of weird, of Emil Sutovsky, who is CEO of FIDE, as I understand, like right hand of Arkady Dvorkovich. He wrote two posts. Actually, he also posted a video, or like Shagar Shah did it on his chess-based India channel. I didn't watch it fully, there were some questions, but we will discuss two posts of Emil Sutovsky, and the most interesting one is about trying to implement somehow Supergrandmaster title. And right now I'll try to, read or like rephrase the post that he wrote. Actually, he wrote it in Russian language, so I like use auto translator. So if there are some incorrect things on your screen, then it's not my fault. I didn't mean to do that. What's the point? So right now we will first discuss this. I'll try to read it more or less, and then with Vladimir we will try to discuss it and tell what we think. So Sutovsky says that Grandmaster title was founded in 1950. There were 27 Grandmasters, which were like the best players on the planet, so they kind of get this title. By the time of 1967, then already like 100 Grandmasters had been. Then the number increased. In 80s it already was 200s, and this is all increase that nowadays a Grandmaster title is not a big deal because there are 1800 players plus with a Grandmaster title. And it's kind of the highest title in chess. There is nothing more than that, only like world champion, but basically it's like, I don't know, another title, not exactly the same. So there is nobody stronger than a Grandmaster. And I will scroll this like his post. And Sutovsky says that each year there were like 60 plus Grandmaster like awarded. They kinda worked, successful success of FIDE, they pretend that they work on important matters, but let's believe that it's true. They were like 60 plus Grandmaster, but right now it's 40 plus Grandmasters every year, which is still pretty big number. However, they kind of cut all these setup tournaments where the players do not really play, or where they, create
How
tournaments.
is it possible to cut it completely, let's say? How
I
they
mean,
will
it's
pro?
impossible. Actually, like any close tournament is about, let's frankly speak,
Saving
yeah,
points, yeah.
how you can get Grandmaster norm, like a true hard player playing opens, like I did, no bragging of course, but I got two norms playing in opens very well, and playing closed tournaments, when you have 10 people, there are some requirements like 3 or 4 Grandmasters, or like 3 or 4 countries, there should be average rating, blah blah blah. Like very often tournaments in Hungary played like every week, and very often in such tournaments there are no top Grandmasters, usually like some average, or players that already not professionals and they like play occasionally, or players who are old Grandmasters and they play for the money that like granted for them. And usually, first of all, in such tournaments it's quite easy. Okay, like everything is relative, so like for somebody it's easy, somebody would say that it's difficult. I would say that yeah, if you play a month in such tournaments, like 3-4 tournaments, it's not really a big deal if you have already a level. And yeah, very often in such tournaments there are situations when you can buy points. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a revelation for somebody, but there are situations when you, let's say, need to win the last round, and you pay the player who is who you playing against, and you pretend that you play a game, and this is like sort of chess corruption. It's been there, it will be there, and it's hard to
In
get
some
rid of it.
countries, I know that even this player that loses the game in this case doesn't even is not even in playing hall while the game, but like it's just in few countries usually. Usually it's
Yeah,
something more.
so like FIDE says that they like decrease the amount of the tournaments where it's like completely disrespect to all the rules, which may be true, but in general, yeah, it's like impossible because it's like it's been even when Karyakin was trying to get his youngest Grandmaster norm, I heard like rumors and like, I don't know, people who were there, they were saying that yeah, there were some like unclear things about it. So
Not
it's like
surprised.
yeah, it's like continues for ages. And for some reason cat started scratching my chair, but let's not talk about that. And what's kind of Sudovsky trying to say? 1800 is a huge number for Grandmaster, for the highest title possible. And yeah, it's
First of
like
all, I mean, I think he wants to say that he does his job badly because just recently he decided to change something. So, and what before he didn't care. I mean, like what he was doing before, like when he knew that all this is farming.
I mean, it's like I wouldn't put a blame on Sutovsky. Like I don't know, last
The worst
I don't know,
CEO of FIDE based on Magnus Carlsen's.
after Oive went away from the president of FIDE, it was like only fucking disappointment. So
Yeah,
it's like it
that's
just
true.
degradation, and which like yeah, there are some people that try to say that it's not true, but yeah, change since 90s do not change in the positive side. But actually, we discussed it in our podcast about the greatest chess player of all time, and especially Kasparov. You can check it out right now. There is a video. There will be pop-up notification. And Sadowski says that there is a difference of Grandmaster of 2300 and Magnus Carlsen, because Grandmaster 2300, it's not a joke, because to be a Grandmaster, you need to be 2500 points, and we will discuss more detailed about it. And there are even Grandmasters with 2100 and even less than that, because usually people like get a Grandmaster, then they get old, they like keep on playing with the joy, and like yeah, they like lose rating and don't care. And yeah, that's the point. There are international master with 1800 I saw, so it's not the point. So what Sutovsky asks, he doesn't say that it's like, I mean, they will instantly say it's truth and there will be Super Grandmaster title, but he's asking, isn't it time to introduce the title of Super Grandmaster? I understand like pros and cons of that, but like there should be some elite that should be awarded like one above all, you know, because Grandmaster kinda like when there are 1800 of Grandmasters and some significantly stronger than the others, that kinda, I mean, cognitive dissonance or something like that. And yeah, it's like he's asking, how do you think? Is it good or not? There are comments. Comment section is huge, actually. It's like 20, 25 comments for now or something like that. What do you think, Vladimir?
It's hard. It's hard to guess. In one point, I mean, obviously, in one hand, I mean, the difference is huge between the very top players and these like 2300 GMs. In other hand, I mean, it's also we should realize that this guy, let's say, the one who has 2300, is probably because he, you know, he get old in most of the cases, and it's kind of not his fault. I mean, it's edging. It's just that's it. And to differentiate it based on this, it's also kind of unfair, let's say. It's true that there are grandmasters. I mean, I know some Cuban GM, let's say, that now has. I think he's from Cuba. I know which he has, which flag he has on FIDE. He's like I played against him once, and then I heard story from one of organizers that he won one open tournament with. He was going with 8 out of 8, and then in last, and he became champion one round before it, and then he surprisingly lost in last round, some shameful game, and the opponent who played against him became second, won a lot of money, and looks like they shared the prize, but the organizer cannot prove it in this case. And now, 2 years ago, I see that this GM very strong. I mean, this tournament is one of the strongest in Spain. So, I mean, versus 25, 50, 100 players, 2600 players, even maybe he played, he won. And after 2 years, his rating is almost the same as mine, like 2280. And he's not old at all. It's not like an old gentleman. So this kind of player has to receive some punishment as well. There's probably something is not clear there. But also at the same time in the sport, like I mean, we have best players like in football, let's say, I mean, Yamal or Rafinha, and we have someone like low level, like I know Uche from Getafe, Vinicius from Real Madrid, but nothing to
Cristiano
compare.
Ronaldo from
Cristiano Ronaldo as well from Al
yeah.
Nassr. Yeah, very low level players, but it's still they're professional players. I mean, it's true, right? Because you know, any team do you play like in Getafe, Alaves, Real Madrid, or Barcelona, it's still is you still a professional football player. And oh, okay, if you want to like a golden ball, then you can, I mean, win it and the same, like you can become world champion. So it's kind of I'm not sure about it. What do you think, Laislav?
I think, okay, like I'll tell you what people mostly agree on in the comments for those who won a Super Grandmaster title. They say that should be like after reaching 2700 or something, or something like that, or I mean, or winning some important tournament or something like that. For me, it's up. I mean, it's a bad idea. It
Yeah, it's
just
nonsense. People will start to farm rating like some guys do.
no, I mean, I don't. The point is not like I'm Super Grandmaster or whatever you call it. Like, there are some fancy names like Maestros or other stuff. I don't remember exactly. But what I don't see a motivation for the player to get a Super Grandmaster. Okay, I'm a Super Grandmaster, and what? Like,
Oh,
and
yeah, some players have ego, and it will be like they will be in history like forever and so on. For some of them, I bet there are few, but like 20%, maybe it is real motivation. But for other
I mean,
people, who will really
because
care?
like 2700, it's okay. Speed the truth right now. It's like getting FIDE Master title when you get 2300, and like I mean, you don't really need any requirements. And I don't know. It's like okay, you reach the rating. Like for Vladimir, for example, it's a good boost because he can play like with some, I mean, lower fees for the tournament. But what's the point of being like a super grandmaster? Like as I understand, when you're 2700, the only goal that you have is to become a world champion. And
Yeah,
if you
there's
will
no more. I
become,
mean,
and if you become like, if there will be some requirements, some tournaments, okay. If we look from the point that first, for example, there should be the same, I mean, kind of scale tournaments where you need to get norms to become a super grandmaster, and it could maybe help some organizers gather and sell this product like it's some super grandmaster
yes,
tournament or
yes.
something like this, then maybe from this point of view it can be good. Although I don't understand like why not just right now do it, because as I understand it's not very like chess is not the sport that you can sell easily and get a lot of money when you organize, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't see the
Yeah,
point
and
in
also
it.
because they're like top players. I mean, they don't need any money or recognition. They already like invited to some tournaments. Because I'm saying, for example, these like fake titles like candidate master, woman candidate master, arena titles. Moreover, arena titles. It's the next
Don't
level.
like
You
don't
know,
even bring it up, please. It's like I mean,
and people like arena GMs with like 1500 of rating, etc. And they technically have a title. It's like a joke. But okay, they need it for something to be published or to say somewhere, because I mean, maybe if I'm like a father who first time goes to teach someone, I say, he's Arena FIDE Master, it's some huge title, probably let's hire this guy.
Vladimir, let's
Uh,
stop for a moment. When the
yeah,
person has Arena Grandmaster, when he has or she has a Women Grandmaster, when you, let's say, when somebody asks what's your title, if let's say the person not attached to chess, how do you think, what like title this person would say?
okay, Grandmaster Hill.
I'm Grandmaster, yeah, and the difference between Arena Grandmaster, Women Grandmaster, and normal Grandmaster,
It's
like
huge, yes.
no offense to everybody, I understand that like this is done for like, I mean,
For people
promoting
who
chess
cannot
for
just
women and stuff like that, but yeah, this like title stuff,
it's a
yeah,
joke. I
is.
mean, yes, it's just a joke. And Arena FIDE Master is just technically for people who never will get well, like never be playing well, and they don't believe in it,
But
and
yeah, it's
they
like
just say, well,
to, I mean,
let's take it.
boost ego for money.
Yeah, something like
Basic.
that.
But okay, I actually was thinking about like what are the options of like making the GM title more significant. I mean, it's like that's very raw, but like we have what we have because like Vladimir said, like improvise, and I basically came up with it a couple minutes ago. Because like I think that like okay, to become a grandmaster, player needs to face at least like 3-4 grandmasters, and you need to get the average rating. And pretty often when you play like unmotivated 2300 grandmaster who are ready to like lose you points, that kind of makes it not the same as playing in some like strong
But also,
championship,
it's
national
hard. I
champ.
mean, you know how many of these 2300 grandmasters you need to reach 2700? I mean, it's really hard.
I'm not talking about 2700. I'm talking about
okay.
Grandmaster title. I'm talking about just getting Grandmaster title. So Grandmaster title is relatively, in my opinion, easy to get. Why don't I reach the Grandmaster title? Because I'm stuck in Ukraine for 3 years. So like, do not put blame on me. I got my second norm right before the war. So like, I probably would be, maybe. I hope. But yeah, it's like, for me, I don't consider it's hard to get a norm if you're in a good shape. So I think let's say people might retain Grandmaster title, but if they go below 2400, if you're Grandmaster and go below 2400, you cannot help people fulfill norms. Because in my opinion, if you, or like there will be one addition to that, because if you like below 2400, you're already not really playing in the strength of Grandmaster. If you're 2400, like, okay, I mean, I can be too harsh for it, but like, yeah, it's all right. 2400, I believe
it's like
that
you can... I mean, you can probably beat any Grandmaster. I mean, any, like, yeah, to have good result against any Grandmaster, and you're 24 something's there. So
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
but lower, it's already like losing the face of Grandmaster title, and taking away Grandmaster title wouldn't be like a fair thing. But for example, so that the people didn't like lose their rating like that, I mean, I guess it's a fair point, and it will make harder to get Grandmaster norms, in my opinion. Because people would care about playing strengths, Grandmasters would care so that they could be invited to keep their rating high, to not lose ratings, like Vladimir said, the guy who had like 2250, but he was winning like some strong tournaments from Cuba. And what I think is that, like, for example, I would allow some people to continue doing it unless, I mean, if they reach 2600, for example, or 2650, I mean, it can be different. Because, for example, like, there are some chess legends, like, I don't know, Bilavsky, Vaganyan, and stuff like that. They were in the top 5, top 3 back then. And yeah, it's like, they clearly had a huge rating, so for them, I would keep it the same way. Because if the player like once reached 2500 somehow, maybe with corruption, maybe not, and then he drops down to 2200 and keep getting invites, money and stuff like that just for the fact that he's a title holder, it's not really fair.
Or at least 2500, and like he needs to hold it like for 5 years, let's say, or for 10, and then...
It's like...
Because, I mean, if you hold it 10 years and you're an active player, you probably really...
Yeah. Because, yeah, there are... And I understand the point that, like, I saw in the comments that, like, old Grandmasters say, like, don't take away our, like, bread, which I understand. But yeah, it's like, if you are worthy, if you're like really consistent good Grandmaster, I mean, it might pay off. But if you just like become Grandmaster and then like, it's like, you know, the guy who's like preparing for some, I don't know, competition, strong competition, or like UFC fight, and then you like stop fighting and you like, boom, plus 30 kilo, like right on spot.
Yeah.
So basically the same with the chess players. Do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay, do you guys actually have anything to add on this topic? Write down in the comments, because the topic is interesting in my opinion. So yeah, I wouldn't bring up another title because that's kind of strange, but I would do something about like this new income of Grandmasters. Making my life harder, but with a free will. Next post we will discuss too, and this one would be hot topic, as I understand, because this is a new post of Sutovsky, and in the interview with Shagar, they discussed possibility to implement candidates matches, right here translated wrong, in 2026. So, quick history. First, how, by the way, you can watch our like series about the GOAT of chess. We discussed about it in our episodes. It was a series where we discussed all 16 world champions and ranked them, and we discussed a lot of things about formats, matches, and stuff like that. Pretty entertaining, interesting videos. So, what was the point? First of all, they were just like matches. Everybody could, I mean, I don't know, challenge everybody if you could gather a prize fund. Then, after Alekines died, they kind of brought up some system, FIDE did, that they need to play a candidate tournament, like nowadays. You play a candidate tournament, and the winner plays the match against world champion. It was with Botvinnik, who took second matches for revenge, and he won title back. And then there was an occasion thing in the Curacao 1962. There was a candidates tournament which Petrosian won, and the point was that three players, Petrosian, Karius, and Geller, they didn't play against each other. They made all draws, and they were like four circles, let's say, four cycles, where you play 20 games, and it helped them a lot to somebody take that title. Then Bobby Fischer said, "This is bullshit. I'm not gonna play anymore in candidates tournament because Soviet Union is everywhere." And this was a fair point because like these players basically didn't play against each other and saved all the power for the remaining guys. And then they came up with an idea of matches. You play some zonal tournaments, some sort of like, I don't know, Swiss system or round robin, which is huge. And there are some players who qualify for the matches. There were quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. And like that, yeah, Bobby Fischer got there, destroyed everybody, legendary, and became a world champion. This continued. But then, as I understood, they changed it again later for. Or I actually right here miss this part because there were a lot of, this Karpov-Kasparov matches, and Karpov always won it, so I didn't really follow that. Probably there were matches, because I remember Yusupov played matches and stuff like that. So matches were viable until it was like Uno Reverso after the situation with Kasparov, PCA and stuff, 2 titles, blah blah blah. Again, for the details, check out our previous videos. Yeah, there were matches in like 2010, 2011 or something like that, and Magnus didn't like the system. I already don't exactly remember why. Because yeah, he said that it's like boring and the system kinda exhausted itself. There were a lot of draws and stuff like this, and they played tie breaks, and then they came up with the candidate tournaments. The first candidate tournament was Banger, if it was first, when Magnus won with a huge, with a huge battle against Kramnik, where they both lost in the last round, and he qualified for the match of Anand. And since then, we have a candidate tournament, which is like pretty cool because there are no like domination of the Soviet guys who play draws against each other. And right now, yeah, what Sutovsky says, that we wanna try to bring it back. Advantages are obvious, it's like more fair, blah blah blah. And like what his main point is that I'm talking too much, I'm already gonna die soon. The point was that when, let's say, there are some players like Abasov, Alexeyenko, who like a punching back in such tournaments, and who knows how they qualify. But yeah, they fair qualified, I'm not gonna lie. It's just another topic that FIDE made requirements very weird and pretty random at some point than they used to be before, in my opinion. But the point was that like they kind of lose the motivation to play, and there is no point, and they like an anchor pulling it back, and everybody can farm points on them.
Okay, they keep. I remember in past candidates tournament, Abbasov from round 1 was very focused on his $2,500 prize for every half point he makes until the end of the tournament. He was like, he said, "How many cards I can buy with it? I mean, 4 draws already 10,000."
I understand, but if you like not, if you're not randomly qualified for this tournament, it means that you're top grandmaster, and you don't really care about this like
and it's unfair because first rounds of the tournament you're very focused, you play in call maximum, and then you kind of say like whatever.
Yeah, so that's what Sutovsky trying to say, to remove this like disadvantages. We can get matches, and in matches it's like get out if you lost, if you noob, like you're not belong, you do not belong here. But minus is obvious because he writes right here that in the matches in Kazan in 2011 there were a lot of draws, nobody was winning, and everybody was playing rapid and blitz as if it's some World Cup. And probably Vladimir start. I will at least be quiet for a little.
About this, I'm big fan of the matches. In this case, Vladislav, I want to ask you several questions.
Yeah, and I said like, please speak right now. I will relax.
No, but
and you're like, let's go.
Okay. Just one word.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not pressure you so much. Last candidates tournament, how many Indian players were there?
I don't know, 1,000.
In last candidate.
I don't know. It's like I don't remember. Like
Uh,
there was
yeah, 4,
Bukers, there
right?
was Prague, there was
Vidit
Vidit, and there
and
was
Ergais, right?
was he?
Oh
No,
no, Ergais was not, but I think there were
Iragasi
4.
didn't
There was
qualify.
someone, who is more Indian there? Hare Krishna? No, he wasn't there. Who was fourth? Yeah, I have very bad memory. There was fourth guy.
Yeah, I also have terrible memory.
Yeah, but doesn't matter. 3 or 4.
Okay.
Definitely could be 4. I mean,
And
definitely.
counter question to Vladimir: how many chill draws did they make, and were their resultive games there?
I will say you yes, there were. But what I'm saying to you, guess who of 4 Indian guys by far scored more points against other Indian guys in this tournament? Within all players, I
Bukesh?
mean, yes, much more than Caruana did, much more than Jan did, much more than everyone did. Because I remember, I'm not saying anything because obviously it was a fair game, I think, but we cannot be sure that in future some federation, whatever federation, Indian, Russian, whatever, will be that fair as well, right? Like it was before. I
I
mean,
guess
they did it once.
I guess it's gonna be Indian domination, so you
Yes, I
shouldn't
guess
like.
so as well. So, and I mean, yes, some Indian guys fair, but you know they're all friends. I mean, it just can be some topic of strange conversation in future.
I
So
I don't exactly agree. Why is it so? Because in Soviet Union, basically, they were like, everyone is even, but someone is more even. Like somebody is more suitable for the
but when
for the
then
country.
why? I mean, I understand what you're saying, but also you notice that it's not me the one who is paranoid for some reason. Also, Chess Federation trying to do kind of regulation, starting to pair the people from the same country in round one. Probably it's also because of some reason, right? If not, they wouldn't
Yeah,
care
yeah,
about it.
that's totally
Yeah.
reasonable.
So I mean, that is possible. I mean, be in a bigger, amount of persons like of probability or less, but it can be, or even like 2
But
friends. Even this is
but
enough. I mean, we are 2
but
friends.
I guess if you pair them in the first rounds, nobody would like to give up a point. And if they make a draws, like okay,
Okay,
but
let's say in the same tournament plays Aronian and 3 Abasovs, right? Let's say, or probably the 3
I
Abasovs
mean, how did
will
they
understand.
qualify there?
Yeah, I know. Because
Good
what I'm
point.
saying is basically, some guy is already or going down in his career, or he knows that like Abasov did that he never will even it will be it's a big celebration win a single game in the candidates, right? So probably in this case, if someone will ask him and he will think about his future, because where's Tabasov now? What he's playing? I mean, to be honest, nothing at all. Where's Alexeyenko? He's losing against 2300 here in our Spanish team. What is this? I mean, nothing else. So, kinda, it will be more fair. It will be more interesting to watch. Obviously, probably not. I mean, because there will be some, but also, I mean, let's say some guy like Magnus Carlsen or he goes to the tournament. Obviously, he'll play for a win any single like classical game if he can if he position the drawers and draw, right? But he will not like go and force draw, draw, draw. So kind of the player who will be by far the best, he will probably try to push and it will be interesting. And if they're more or less equal, okay, even in candidates we see a lot. Although it's true that the interesting point of candidates, one of my favorite actually tournaments, my favorite tournament to watch throughout the years because yeah, you only first place matters. As we see lately, sometimes even second, but usually first place, right? So, but also yes, that's the point. There are a lot of. It's maybe more interesting to watch, but it's a bit less fair because of some things like that. So where I'm trying to go is that will yes, matches will be maybe more boring, but for viewers, who cares, to be honest? I mean, the most important is to be fair, right? And for if you say that it's candidates, it's that much more exciting that we can bring a lot of sponsors, a lot of money. You didn't do bring anything. I mean, so you failed already. So if it doesn't work, I mean, a little bit worse or a little bit better in this case will not change much. So this will be more fair. And there will be like 8 players that if draw, but at some point you need to play Blitz Armageddon and you eliminated from the tournament if you continue doing this. So yeah, I mean, I think it will be more fair. I honestly, I know should it be like 8 people or 16? Another thing.
Okay, in my opinion, it's of course total crap. Because like point okay, I mean I didn't structure it in my head, but yeah, it's like I can understand if there were cases where players like deny playing each other, and they don't play very much, and they make a quick draws or stuff like that. But basically, they are playing, and they are like playing not the best chess. And like, yeah, it's like if we put players playing together in the first round, let's say they are from the same country and they make draws very easily, consistently, then there will be the case. But for now, I think there is a competition between Prague, Gukesh, and Yurigasi, who's like probably waiting to get to the candidates tournament, and he will not really stop. And I don't really think this is really the reason to bring back this candidates tournament. Secondly, in my opinion, it's way more interesting to watch candidates. Candidates is one tournament, is like 14 rounds, and like everyone who qualified there, the best, and they fight each other. Somebody needs to get the first place, and there is always intrigue until the last round. It's like, even if there is somebody who's like giving away points, I hope this next candidate tournament will be without such person, and everybody would be even, like it was in the gold era of these tournaments, like 2013 and stuff like this, where like all these heavyweight guys played, like Nakamura, Caruana, Ivanchuk, Kramnik, and so on and so on. Even Karyakin, let's say.
But will it be more interesting, like, let's say, final in matches? Like, anyway, it will be interesting.
No, it will not be, because like sponsors would rather, like, I don't know, like go for this event, because quarterfinals, like, first of all, there will be a lot of draws, so therefore it's not really that interesting.
But
maybe there will be wins.
Vladislav with candidate system.
I have no idea, but in my opinion there will be even less, because first of all, it's gonna be more boring. There will be like throwing a dice pretty often, because there will be like rapid and blitz. Maybe for somebody it's fun. I mean, I guess for majority, like, I like World Cup the most. But like, yeah.
Yeah, by the way, it's true that you big fan of this tournament. And by the way, my friend
I'm a big fan, because it's like,
a big fan. It's his favorite tournament. And I mean, except of me,
like,
that I'm not fan of this. But
yeah.
most of my friends saying me that, wow, World Cup, what is this? And it's really interesting for people.
So yeah, that's true, but it's like, it's a huge, and it's like, I don't know, some battle royale, and right here there are some like couple players playing, and I don't know, like, in my opinion, the further it proceeds, the more boring it gets. So like,
I understand what you mean, but then, by the way, I'm not saying anything I don't remember, just, but we can, like, later after it, like, check some statistic. I'm just curious, like, from quarterfinals of World Cup, like past World Cups that we are played, is there really that many draws or not? I'm curious. Just remember, like, this tournament where.
But I mean, it has like 2 games only and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say is, like, okay, there will be final, there will be like an event, but it's not, you know, there is no understanding of how huge event is. There's like few small events, they need to spend more money with no reason, and there is no, like, you know, when you like lock in and watch. First, it's like, you know, Netflix who publishes, like, I don't know, like first parts and second parts and third, blah blah blah. Or when you publish series,
like, for the series,
when you publish. When you publish series is like one by one, it's getting irritating. It's like, yeah. And like, when you watch the whole season, you of course more thrilled, and because you can watch it more. And this like holding, in my opinion, it doesn't make it better. It's like, yeah, you kind of have time to talk about it, but yeah, it's like, I'm more for this point. Also, I wanted to say something, but I already forgot. So yeah, I don't know, there are too many good things about candidates. I don't know, I'm in general.
Too many? Just one, I heard. One, two.
I mean, it's like, I mean, already too huge. I forgot everything. And it's already more, because it's like, I mean, fundamental. But if I recall something, I will tell, because I don't want to sit like an idiot and right here recall what I said.
While you're trying to recall, I'll entertain you with my idea. I am saying that a lot of people can like make some agreements, etc. It can happen. And you're saying that if it will be like my idea is mine and Sutovsky's idea with matches, it will be more boring. And it will be a lot of draws like before move 40. But we have the Sofia rule that before move 40 you cannot make a draw as long as it's not repetition. So we change classical chess for freestyle chess, and everyone's happy with that. I keep pushing this idea for years already.
It's not it's not attractive to watch, it's not clear what to watch. I mean, because people do not understand what's going on the board in normal chess, and in the like freestyle chess it's gonna get even worse. Plus, I don't know, like normal chess preparation is a part of it, and we already had this discussion before, and
I think
Yeah,
people
I
will
don't know.
get used to it. At first, maybe like views will go maybe
I, I
down,
don't
but
I don't see any point of like changing it. I can understand doing it on parallel, which is reasonable, and do something in this direction, but completely replace it, it doesn't make sense. In my opinion, it's better to like somehow develop the normal format, try to bring like, you know, this like Swiss tournament, which is like Bill Open, when you compete in like in a few sections, like classical, blitz, rapid, so that it could be like sold better. They have some fast formats, and you didn't play only boring classics. But yeah, it's like matches gonna be boring. There will not be like huge event. Like nobody's gonna try to sponsor it. There maybe will be some final match. But Vladimir, is it very interesting for you to watch World Championship match when there is only one game for like 6 hours?
I mean, it's once again, I'm thinking it's more to freestyle chess. For me, I would watch probably if the game is, I mean, it's classical chess, so it's not freestyle, so we know more or less where a game will go. So let's say after if I opening, I watch it and I see that game will be draw, yes, obviously I'll turn it off. I mean, yes.
I don't
But if
know,
I see that there's
Vladimir.
something exciting and we will watch, why not?
You,
But if I'm regular players and I'm not like, coach or something, or I don't know anything about game, I just like learned to play yesterday, probably no one will watch it. Yes. The same as candidates,
I
maybe.
just like, yeah, it's like you already have like I don't know, every month almost this freestyle Grand Slam. So like you need more. It's already like best players competing, and you can actually qualify for this if you're worthy. For example, there was this
Yes.
Grenke Chess Open which Magnus crushed 9 out of 9. So yeah, I think they should do something. But basically, bringing bad candidates game matches, it's like, I don't know, trying to pretend that you are doing some stuff. It's like you rather increase funds and opens, I don't know, find a way to attract more money to chess, try to make it more interesting, try to think and not like be
It
dumbasses.
also depends on the kind of which kind of players we see. If they have some charisma, at least like let's say, I believe if Neiman will play versus like Nakamura, more people will watch it than like if he'll play Pragnananda versus. Okay, not bad idea because Indian viewers are the most probably, but understand the two typical gray guys that doesn't have anything any background. Because
Yeah,
before, I
true.
mean, in time
It's
before
like
Fischer, there were like very important matches between players that like
it's like
But
Conor
nowadays,
McGregor matches. He's like he may be not the strongest, but because of all
yeah,
this hype, people watch it.
yeah, and people watch it. So kind of, and then maybe also, do you have some better idea? I mean, yes, candidates for you better than the matches, but I mean, it's also failed. It's like played for 10 years, as you're saying, more or less, right? And not no one watches, but I mean, it didn't bring money in chess. It didn't bring like big popularity to chess. It didn't bring anything, and
I
I don't
think
see chess as an idea.
I guess time controls should be manipulated somehow. There should be some changes in this area if you want to keep the chess alive.
Yeah, to be honest, here I agree. I like, for example, again freestyle chess format 90 plus 30, but without it because 60 it will be too little already. It's like it's
Yeah.
almost rapid chess. It's too low. 90
Or
plus
let's
30 without increment.
yeah, or like I don't know. As I said, like this Beetle chess tournament where you like compete in 3 formats. I don't know how to make it work, but like maybe play one round of classic, like some games in rapid, some in blitz, and like combine it somehow. There are a lot of interesting formats, but when it comes to like FIDE events, it's like and you like sleep.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, of course there are some interesting events like World Cup and like candidates tournaments, but it's not as exciting as it could be. And I understand that it's hard to sell chess, but like bringing back candidates matches will not help. It's like okay,
Yeah,
so
no,
this
for
is
sure.
it.
I agree with you. It will not help. I mean, I just say maybe it will be more like maybe just new win, but that it will help to earn money or involve something like that. Obviously not. Nothing will help. Looks like.
Okay, so what do you guys think about these two topics? What you can say? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Which point do you stand
Yeah,
by?
write in
And
comments.
yeah, exactly. And stay tuned in for the next episodes. Goodbye.
Ciao.